It's a Sunday, Erin, and it was a day that was dominated by the defense.
After the offense really dominated on Saturday, it was good to see the defense step up here today, and a lot of it thanks to defensive tackle Malcolm Roach, who had a sack, a pass deflection, and we got an interception from Smoke Monday on Jake Haener.
Also, in the inside drills, it was very heavily dominated by the linebackers. You saw Zach Vaughn, you saw DeMarco Jackson, and also rookie linebacker from Tulane, Nick Anderson, with a huge hit on Kirk Merritt to end the drill. Now, those guys were able to get in there and get more reps because Demario Davis was out again for the second straight day. Here is head coach Dennis Allen on the Saints' injury situation on Sunday.
Two injuries of note, Coda Martin, an ankle, and Lucas Krull, a tailbone. Nothing that I expect to be, season ending or anything like that, but we'll see. Coda Martin's probably the one we got to evaluate a little bit more before we know for sure.
With wide receivers Traquan Smith and Rashid Shaheed out again today after leaving practice early on Saturday due to groin injuries, it was kind of convenient that they already had a scheduled workout with former LSU wide receiver John Trey Kirkland. They did sign him after practice yesterday. He's most recently been with the Houston Roughnecks of the XFL. He had 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards in just a couple games there before he suffered a chest injury. Here's head coach Dennis Allen.
We've had him in on a few workouts on prior occasions. He was a guy that we felt like kind of stood out a little bit in the XFL, both as a receiver and really probably in particular as a special teams player. So that's a value that I think he brings to that group that is going to benefit him. So he's a guy that we kind of had our eye on a little bit, was coming back off an injury and is finally healthy. And so, we'll give him a shot, see what he can do.
Well, Erin, if you're going to play offensive line for the New Orleans Saints, you've got to be versatile. Now, 3 positions who you think are pretty set are Trevor Penick at left tackle, Eric McCoy at center, and Ryan Ramczyk at right tackle. Other than that, you better be prepared to play guard or tackle in this offense.
I think it's twofold, right? I think some of it is we've got some guys that are coming back off of injury, so they've been limited. Ram's kind of, on a little bit of a program where he's going, then he may be a little limited, and then he gets an off day. So the depth in the offensive line has kind of forced us to have to maneuver some guys around. And, you have 8 of them on game day, and, a guy that can play guard tackle, right and left, center guard, those are valuable commodities on a game day, because it allows you to potentially, maybe add a guy in a different position.
One of those offensive linemen, Landon Young, who was drafted as a tackle, is taking some reps at guard for the first time in his career.
I think they're just trying to try it out, and I've never played guard all the way since I started playing football. I've never played guard, so this is kind of new for me, and I think it was new for the coaches because that's nothing that has been really experimented in years past I've been here. But I think that it's going to be very useful. I think anything that can make a certain player add value to a team, that's going to be really, really helpful on Sundays when you have the possibility of people going down, you have injuries, you have a long season, you have a long camp. But I think it's fitting well. I think I'm getting good reps, but more than anything, it helps not just as another person that can play another position, but it helps in my development as a tackle as well.
Well, Erin, as we mentioned earlier, one of those pretty set positions you would think is at left tackle, and that is first-round draft pick from a year ago, Trevor Penick.
Well, offensive lineman James Hurst has been one of those players that has switched positions throughout his career. He's very comfortable doing it, which allows Penning to be in his natural position at left tackle. He's working back from that Liz Frank surgery that he had at the end of the season. And while we haven't seen any dust-ups this training camp, he said he's still coming with the same fire, and he's a lot more comfortable this training camp.
I definitely feel way better. I feel more comfortable. It almost feels like the game kind of slowed down a little bit. Getting adapted kind of to NFL speed. So, it's a lot better than last year, I feel like. So that's exciting.
Well, whoever's on the line at the first team, running back Jamal Williams, is pretty fired up to be running behind him.
I just love how our line is moving the ball. our line get off the ball, and they really make holes for us. So I just know the more and more we get comfortable with each other, they'll see, how I run, how I want to get through. But they make it so easy to get in, running the ball that I feel like I won't have to make drastic decisions. I just be out there just making plays. So I'm just grateful to be here with them.
With consecutive vet days with safeties Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu, that's opened the door for rookie safety Jordan Howden to get some first-team reps, Erin.
Jordan Howden was a 5th-round pick by the Saints this season. After his career in Minnesota, he had 49 starts at safety. He was a ball hawk, very disruptive, lots of passes defense to PBUs. He forced an 18.5 incompletion rate. So he's very good at what he does, and he's getting a lot of opportunity.
Now, how I look at it is, don't matter if I'm with the 1s, the 2s, 3s, or 4s. I'm just blessed to be able to get in and be able to, take a rep out there and just get used to the playbook and be able to, instead of mentally doing it, actually doing it physically and stuff like that, seeing it with my own eyes and just getting adjusted. And that comes with the film room, with the coaches and the older guys.
He's done some good things. There's still some things that you see where he's still a rookie, so he's still learning. But he's getting better every single day and coming out here and working.
Well, the Saints will have training camp practice number 11 tomorrow. By the way, that is closed to the public, but will be there every step of the way. That's Erin Summers. I'm Todd Graffagnini. We'll see you on Monday for another edition of the Saints Training Camp Report